So today I thought first I will tell you about some of the common things we think as the myths in our thinking, and then try and explain why what we have been following don't work, because what we believe is not really completely true. One of the best things we start with is like our weight is like a bank balance. If you eat more, you will gain weight. And if you eat less, you will lose weight. If you exercise more, you will lose weight. And if you exercise less, you will gain weight. Usually people say, I will join a gym, I will get better. And so that is our approach. Unfortunately, that's not the case. If you take an average person, even if they go for 1 hour to the gym, if they are 80 kilos and they are walking, or even if they are running, they can foresee to lose, to burn about 800 calories, 60 kgs roughly. Let's say it's a woman. If they spend 1 hour, they will be spending about 600 calories. But then we look at what we are roughly we are eating today. So in the morning, 1 glass of latte, which is milk and coffee, basically, one sort of muffin, or it could be a dosa, idli, parathas if you're from the north. And the rough calculation is 400 calories there, 130, 40 calories there. You have already taken about 600 calories. If you look at that from the gym perspective, 1 hour of exercise is equal to this. So that's why I say you cannot outrun or out exercise your diet. So people who say, I will eat anything I like, but I will just go to the gym, or I will go for a long run, or I will do exercise, unfortunately, that system just will not work. And we have all tried that. We try to be good people. We go to the gym, we exercise. Unfortunately, we find it is not producing the results we want to see. And this is the reason why it does not work. Then we say, okay, we will not do that. We'll just eat less. So I will still have breakfast, lunch, dinner. I will have some tea or coffee at 11 o'clock, 4 o'clock, maybe with a little bit of snacks. And I will just eat less. So we will restrict our calories, which is what I've written here. Unfortunately, initially it will work because we are eating less, so we will lose some weight. But very soon we find that even though you're doing all this, weight will hit a plateau, and then slowly it will start rising. So there are no studies in the world to show that purely by eating less, you can maintain weight loss beyond 1 year. That system just does not work. In fact, people will tell that I'm feeling more tired, I'm always lethargic, I cannot concentrate, I have low energy, I feel a bit cold. Even if I look at food, or if I eat a little bit of food, I start gaining weight very, very quickly. And this is because our body gets used to this low energy state. Our hormones reset to a lower level. And so our body just learns to live with that lower calorie intake, and it just doesn't work. Third option, okay, I will maintain a traditional diet. When I was a child, this is how I ate. This is what my parents ate. This is what my grandparents ate. I will maintain traditional diet. It has worked for so many centuries. It will work for me. Again, problem is that today's food is not the same food we ate as a child. The same rice is not the same rice. It is highly polished, highly processed, highly hybridized. Atta, same. There's hardly any fiber or any bran left in it. It's almost like maida. You buy bread, you bring it home. There is no fungus even after 3-4 days. It's almost like eating plastic. So they are very calorie dense. They are highly processed, completely hybridized. So yes, you might be eating roti or rice, but it is not the same thing you ate as a child or what your parents or grandparents ate. It just looks the same, but it is not the same. That's why even if we are eating traditional diet, we find we are gaining weight, and it's not working for us. So these are the reasons why they don't work. And even if they work, they are not sustainable in the long term. We find they start failing. And the thing to understand, the science to understand that we do now, is we have to think about this in terms of, not in terms of calories, but in terms of what is happening to our hormones. And the most important hormone in our body is insulin, not only in patients with diabetes, in all of us. So if we take what insulin does, of course, it helps us to build our body. It's very, very important. Its main job is to conserve energy, either in the form of pushing the sugar we eat into the cells for energy, or any surplus goes into our fat stores and it is stored there. So we gain weight, as you can see, it is mainly in the middle part of the body. So typical Indians, we are not very fat people, we are not overweight people, just we will have a big belly. That is very, very typical of insulin. We come to this side, it helps to control sugar. If we take too much sugar, it will push it, but it will end up with giving us diabetes. Most importantly, high insulin level will prevent from burning fat. So even if you are going to exercise, you will find you cannot burn fat if your insulin level is high. And so it maintains obesity. And that's what leads to this energy levels being out of control. We cannot able to control it. And this graph explains it very, very nicely. If we are eating mainly carbohydrates, insulin will go very high, very, very quickly, and it will stay there. Even if you combine it with a balanced diet, that I'm eating a little bit of fat, little bit of protein, but main of my diet is coming from carbohydrates, no difference, it's the same. So it is causing more fat storage. If you remove the carbohydrate, take proteins, things are getting better. If you eat only fat, I'm not saying eat only fat, but if you did that, then you find insulin is not going so high. So our fat storage is not happening now. Then if you move towards restricting your carbohydrates, then you can see very good responses. Insulin is going down. So now fat burning can take place. But if you go towards intermittent fasting, you can see a huge drop in insulin, which means as soon as insulin's effect goes away, body can go to our fat stores and start burning the fat. So what I'm saying is eating fat will help you lose fat, and eating in a different way will help you lose fat. Combine it with exercise, perfect combination for losing weight